You've always sensed it, haven't you? That quiet moment when someone you trusted suddenly shifts. Their smile stays the same, but something in their eyes changes. A promise they made dissolves without explanation. A favor you gave is never returned. In that instant, the world feels colder. You wonder if you imagined it. You didn't. This is the brutal truth about human nature. Beneath the polite conversations, the shared laughs, and the carefully crafted images, people are driven by forces most never admit out loud. Self-interest, survival, status, desire, fear. And the moment you truly see this, not with anger but with clarity, everything begins to change. You stop being surprised. You stop being used. You start moving differently through the world. Most people spend their lives pretending human nature is kinder than it is. They believe loyalty is permanent, words match intentions, and goodness always wins. That illusion feels safe until reality crashes in. But you're here because you're ready for the truth. The kind that doesn't comfort you, but arms you. Let's pull back the curtain. First, understand this. Every human being is the hero of their own story. Even the ones who hurt you. They don't wake up thinking, "Today, I'll be the villain." They wake up thinking about their needs, their fears, their ambitions. You are simply a character in their narrative, and when your role no longer serves their goals, the script changes. Most people misunderstand this as cynicism. They think acknowledging self-interest makes you cold. The strategically intelligent person sees it as freedom. When you accept that everyone is pursuing their own interests, you stop taking behavior personally. You start observing patterns instead of reacting emotionally. Picture this. You pour energy into a friendship or a professional relationship. You go the extra mile. Then one day the other person becomes distant. They're not evil. Their priorities simply shifted. A better opportunity appeared. A threat to their status emerged. Their fear won. The average person feels betrayed and lashes out. The self-mastered individual notes the shift, adjusts their expectations, and protects their position without drama. The psychological advantage is massive. You conserve energy. You maintain dignity. You become harder to disappoint because you see the game, not the mask. Takeaway: give generously, but never from the illusion of permanent reciprocity. Invest where mutual benefit exists, and keep one eye on reality. But here's where it gets dangerous. The masks people wear are so convincing that even intelligent observers get fooled. Human beings are masters of appearance. We say what keeps the peace. We smile when we're threatened. We act generous when we want something in return. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. In the game of power, how you are perceived often matters more than who you actually are. Most people believe sincerity is the highest virtue. They overshare their thoughts, their weaknesses, their plans. They think authenticity will earn trust. But in the raw mechanics of human nature, oversharing often hands others weapons to use against you later. Watch any high-stakes environment, a competitive workplace, a tense family gathering, a new relationship. People present a version of themselves designed to navigate the moment. The colleague who praises your work might be positioning himself to take your promotion. The friend who vents about their problems may be testing how much emotional labor you'll provide. Strategically intelligent people master this. They reveal only what serves their purpose. They maintain calm mystery. They let others project their own assumptions onto them. This creates space, leverage, and protection. The advantage is subtle but devastating. While others exhaust themselves performing sincerity, you observe. You decide what to reveal and when. You shape perception instead of being shaped by it. Powerful truth. Control what others see, and you control much of how they respond. Most people never realize this next one until it costs them dearly. Humans are wired to move toward pleasure and away from pain. Every decision, every relationship, every betrayal ultimately traces back to this ancient mechanism. Desire and fear are the invisible strings. Think about the last time someone disappointed you. Beneath their excuses, you'll usually find either the pursuit of something they wanted more or the avoidance of something they feared. A partner pulls away not because they stopped caring overnight, but because a new desire appeared or an old fear resurfaced. A colleague undermines you because your success triggers their insecurity. Average people react with outrage or self-pity. They demand explanations that rarely tell the full story. Psychologically intelligent people study the underlying desire or fear. They ask, what is this person moving toward? What are they moving away from? Understanding this lets you predict behavior instead of being blindsided by it. Practical takeaway: when someone's actions confuse you, stop listening to their words for a moment and look at their incentives. Align with their desires where possible, or create distance where their fears might harm you. This awareness doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you precise. And yet, even with this knowledge, there's a deeper layer that surprises even intelligent people: the principle of emotional leverage. People don't just act on their own emotions. They constantly try to influence yours. Guilt, flattery, anger, victimhood, urgency. These are tools used, often unconsciously, to move you into position. You felt it. The friend who makes you feel guilty for setting a boundary. The person who flatters you right before asking for a favor. The colleague who creates artificial urgency to force a decision. These aren't always grand conspiracies. They're human nature operating on autopilot. Most people get pulled into these currents because they haven't mastered their own emotions. They react, defend, explain, and in doing so, hand over control. The self-mastered individual does something different. They notice the emotional hook, pause, and choose their response. They stay centered. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to control his own mind first. In modern terms, this means recognizing when someone is trying to weaponize your empathy, your pride, or your fear. Advantage: emotional control is the ultimate form of power. When you refuse to be emotionally hijacked, you see clearly. You respond strategically instead of reactively. You become the calm center while others spin. Here's what nobody talks about. The people who master this don't just protect themselves. They naturally gain quiet influence because others feel steadier around them. Stability is magnetic in a chaotic world. Let me pause for a second. Which of these truths is hitting you the hardest right now? Have you recently experienced someone's mask slipping? Or felt your own emotions being pulled? Drop a comment later. Your experiences sharpen all of us. We're all navigating the same hidden game. Now, let's go deeper into something that separates survivors from the strategically powerful. The hierarchy instinct is ancient and relentless. Human beings sort themselves into invisible rankings constantly. Status, respect, social value. We may deny it in polite company, but our behavior reveals the truth. We gravitate toward those who seem higher status. We test those around us. We feel subtle pleasure when we rise, discomfort when we fall. Most people misunderstand this as shallow ego. They try to ignore it or shame it away. But the psychologically aware person studies it. They understand that status isn't just about money or titles. It's about perceived value, confidence, social proof, emotional independence. In everyday life, watch how people position themselves in conversations. Who dominates the room? Who gets interrupted? Who receives deference? These microdynamics tell you everything about the current hierarchy. The strategic move isn't to obsess over status. It's to build genuine, quiet confidence that doesn't require constant validation. When you stop needing others' approval to feel secure, you naturally rise. You become less manipulable. You speak less, observe more, and act with calm authority. Takeaway: focus on increasing your real value and inner stability. Status follows. Chasing it directly makes you look desperate and easy to control. But the real danger, the part that changes everything, is how unpredictability destroys power. Sun Tzu taught that the greatest victories come from understanding your opponent better than they understand themselves. In daily life, this means recognizing that people are far more predictable than they believe. Their patterns repeat. Their triggers are consistent. Their responses to stress, success, rejection follow familiar paths. Average people believe they are mysterious and complex. They hide behind chaos. The high-value thinker maps the patterns. They notice how someone behaves when praised, when challenged, when resources are scarce. Over time, this creates almost prophetic insight. You can see this in relationships that sour. The same arguments surface. The same excuses appear. The same emotional cycles repeat. Most stay trapped in the loop. The self-mastered individual steps back, studies the pattern, and changes their own role in it. Advantage: predictability gives you options. You can prepare. You can influence. You can protect. You become the one who sees 3 moves ahead while others react to the immediate. This knowledge is for self-protection, awareness, and personal mastery, not for harming or manipulating innocent people. Use it to build stronger boundaries and wiser connections. Now consider the power of selective trust. Trust is not a feeling. It is a calculated assessment of reliability over time. Most people give it too quickly because they crave connection. They mistake warmth for character. They ignore small inconsistencies until the big betrayal arrives. Strategically intelligent people extend trust in small amounts and observe what happens. They note whether words match actions. They watch how someone behaves when they think no one is looking. They understand that character is revealed in pressure, not comfort. Example: a new associate makes big promises. The average person gets excited and commits fully. The wise observer tests with small commitments first. They watch follow-through, honesty under minor stress, and consistency. This prevents devastating losses later. The psychological advantage cannot be overstated. You build relationships that actually last because they're based on reality, not hope. You avoid the painful cycle of idealizing then demonizing people. You maintain peace of mind. Powerful line: trust is earned in drops and lost in oceans. Guard your oceans. There's one final truth that ties everything together. The ultimate freedom comes from mastering yourself first. Human nature is what it is. People will pursue their interests. Masks will be worn. Emotions will be weaponized. Hierarchies will shift. But none of this needs to destabilize you once you understand the game. The average person tries to change others or rages against reality. The self-mastered individual focuses on their own reactions, their own standards, their own emotional discipline. They become anti-fragile. What would break most people only sharpens them. You begin to see beauty in the complexity. The same nature that creates betrayal also creates extraordinary loyalty when incentives align. The same drive for status that causes conflict also pushes humanity forward. Understanding both sides gives you depth. You move through the world with quiet confidence. You expect nothing, appreciate everything genuine, and remain unshaken by the inevitable currents of self-interest. The world makes more sense now, doesn't it? The betrayals, the disappointments, the shifting alliances, they were never about you. They were about human nature playing out its ancient script. By seeing it clearly, you've stepped outside the script. You're no longer just a player reacting. You're becoming the rare individual who observes, adapts, and chooses with wisdom. You understand people better. You are harder to manipulate. You see the hidden game. And most importantly, you control yourself before trying to influence anything else. That is the real power. The power that lasts. If this resonated with you, if it sharpened your vision even a little, do one thing right now. Hit the like button. It helps this message reach others who need it. Subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue exploring these truths together. And tell me in the comments, which truth about human nature struck you the most? Have you seen these patterns in your own life? What's one small change you're going to make after watching this? Your insights matter. They make us all stronger. Until next time, stay aware, stay strategic, and never forget, the clearest eyes win the longest game.